Welcome to another session of OverPower Marketing or OPM Tools Tuesday workshop. So today, the topic for today is that we were going over the topic that how to show you or showcase you what exactly it is that an employee of any system or any business who is using this system, what does they do in a daily manner. So we covered that last time when we talked about important contacts and making calls, sending out emails and sending out text messages within the system, or basically doing their stuff like disposition if the call was a completed call or an incomplete call and things like that. So when we completed that, it gave us the thought that when an employee or anyone is working within the system in OPM tools, what they see is that they have this huge list of contacts on their main page, let's say 10,000 contacts. It could be slightly misleading to any business when they see that they have 10,000 contacts and only what 1% or less than 1% of them are actual clients. They have this feeling that they might have, more opportunity there. So we thought about, me and Coven were discussing, and we came to this idea or this conclusion that it's a very good thing that we need to understand that contact data management is something that's really much talked about. And it's really much, even though it's really important, but we have never showcased it on how to do it or what is the optimum way of doing it. So that is something that we wanted to go over. And we have also released a small but a new feature within OPM tools, which we wanted to showcase that to you as well. So before further ado, let's jump in with the first segment, which is the data management. So if I share my screen, so I'm pretty sure my screen is showing. Now in front of the screen, we have this demo account, which contains all of these leads. And these leads are demo leads or basically fake contacts. The reason it's fake is privacy issues, security concerns, whatever you may say. But in case I do make a call to them, it wouldn't be a real person picking up the call and saying, who's this? And me embarrassing myself and saying wrong number. So that's why this is just fake data. So I can tell you what we are trying to do instead of actually doing it and then, getting people angry on a Tuesday afternoon. So when we're working with a business or working within a business, it's not usually this clean. What I mean by that is not every business would have the first name, last name, phone number, and email, the basic 4 to 5 different fields, which are extremely important and common within every different business. So not every business will have their contacts having all the contacts having their names, their numbers, and emails. So what an employee or someone who's working on the system needs to do or should do is making sure that at least the basic information of their contacts are completed. Now, everyone wants that, but how do they achieve it? Again, they'll have to reach out to these people in one way or another. But then again, how do they do it? That's a question. Where do they start from? How do they know which people there are? So if, for example, instead of 111 contacts, if I had 11,000 contacts, would I be flipping the pages again and again and checking out where they are? What I can do is basically 2 things with that. First, I can use is a filtration system, which is I go to the filter and I search for, let's say, the full name is empty. That's all I have to do. And I move this out of the way since it's blocking me. All right. And I click on apply. Again, I have a perfect demo contacts. So that's why I have all the contacts names in here. But if someone was empty, if someone did not have a full name, it would show up over here. And I would click over here and save it as a smart list with name missing. Save. So it would give me this smart list over here with all the people who had their names missing. Now, what would I do with that? Imagine in this scenario that these were all the people without a name. All right, so let's see if this works. If I go over here, remove this, I remove this. Can I save it? Please save it. No. Let's make this, save this. Perfect. Now, will that show up? I hope it does. No, it did not. Why? Because I did not save it, even though it did. Yeah, the system did sometime, usually, or maybe it's because I'm sharing the screen. But so, example, this is a name that is missing now. Now, what I can do is if I want to get the full name, I have 3 ways of contacting them, usually, which is calling them up. But how would I call someone whose name I don't even know? Like, if they pick up, what am I going to say? If you have a script like that, and can extract the information from that type of a call, Perfect. Otherwise, I'll go on an email. Again, I can email them. I can tell them, hey, if I have the business information, if I don't even have a business information, I can send them a cold DM. Instead of asking them or about them, I can showcase myself to them and then pitch it and get some sort of information from them. Say, hey, I got your email from a list of emails, something like that. Can you fill out this form for me? And if they fill out the form, it contains their full name, email, phone number, and other fields. And I can send them out an SMS. Again, you have three different ways communication channel. Now, the way you can do that is click over here, select the contacts that you have, select all contacts, and then send them an SMS or a form or an email that contains a form, or you can basically add them to a power dialer in which your user can call them and collect the information and add the information. Now, that is for one thing, what I have just shown you, and select all 11 or 111 contacts. The same way you can do it for phone number and emails as well. Yes, Mr. Robert.
First of all, good afternoon, Mustafa. I heard that there was a I heard that there was a max character when sending out an SMS that you can actually accrue charges for that. What is that character amount?
I think it's 155 characters before you get charged for 2 SMS within the same one. So if I'm not wrong, Oren, would you know that? But you're absolutely correct. Within a text, it's not exactly the max what should I say limit. It's a segment limit. So each segment counts as 1 SMS. So if you go beyond that limit, it will be counted as more than 1 SMS. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, but depending on how many people that you've got, let's using the same 111, and let's say that it goes from 1 to 2, is each one of those going to get billed for the 2?
Yes. Even if it's a space over, even if it's a comma or a period mark that goes over the limit of one segment, then all of these contacts, if you send them 1 SMS, the system will count it as 2 SMS per user.
So it's 155. Okay.
I think it's 155, but I'll leave you double check. Cohen, while I'm presenting, can you find out the number?
Yeah, I can look around.
Yeah, that would be good.
And what exactly is the limit you're looking for?
He's looking for the SMS limit, SMS segment limit. After how many characters does the limit gets exceeded? Okay. As soon as you do, just raise your hand and we can just come back to that one. Anything else, Robert? Nope. Anyone else before I continue? Moving on to the next 10. Okay, perfect. So the same way that I just mentioned about the names, if someone has a name missing, what the next thing that they can do is for emails and phone as well. So click on email within the filters as well. Let me show you that again. On the right hand side, there's a more filters button. Click on that. Click on email. It's empty. Apply. Oh, and we do have 2 people perfect examples that we don't have an email for. I can save it as a smart list saying email missing. Now, why am I creating these smart lists and why is it important? Because when people or when businesses are trying to reach out their prospects or their cold potential clients or cold potential leads, they want to approach people who have complete information. How can you email someone when you don't even have their email address? Or how can you call and SMS someone if you don't even have their phone numbers? Yes, Cohen.
I'm currently looking through our help desk right now, and they are saying 160 characters for one segment. So if you go over 161, that would be considered 2 segments.
Perfect. So yeah, I was wrong by 5 characters. That I'm glad I was less than the objective, but yeah.
That's what I'm promoting, 155. That way I don't take a chance. I got a buffer.
Yeah, we can't take any risk. Huh? If someone accidentally presses a space bar one more time, you don't want to be incurred for a new SMS? Made sense. So yeah, keep the target at 150. That would be fair. That would be safe enough. All right, perfect. Then so the same way as I have just created a new smart list by the name of email missing, the reason I made that is whenever I click on these, I will not click over here which says send email. I will either send them in SMS or I will add them to a power dialer, or in which my user or my team member will call them. Hey, I have your first name as Casey Morgan. I have your phone number as 1234567. I'm calling from here. Can I even get your email address so that we can reach out to you in a more professional manner? If they give it, perfect. If they don't, at least you tried. No, so that way you can have your information complete. Now, this is for something that's basic: the first name, last name, email, and phone. What about information that actually really matters to your industry or your business? Because everyone will have phone numbers and emails and names within their lead system, but not everyone will have specific information. For example, number of employees, number of revenue, area of house, number of bedrooms. So that information can vary from one business to another. Now, what can you do with that? Again, you have the normal way of calling these people up and asking about their information. They're straightforward. I thought so. I was saying, if you have information, if you have business information that you require from a client that is not a common information like email, phone, and name, how do you extract that? Again, within your system, you can call them and ask for it. You can send them an email with a form attached to it. And when they click on the form, it opens up the form and they just have to fill out the form. And you can send them a text again with the form link attached. So whenever they fill out the form, it will automatically update their information within the system instead of creating a new contact. The reason why we focus so much heavily on information is because this information matters. So we've seen countless systems in which the first names were named as TBD, which means to be decided, or it was blank. No one knew what the names were. No one knew what the phone numbers were. And when the system owners or the business owners would sit and look at the system, they would be, we have 10,000 people in the pipeline. We have 10,000 people in the contact list. Why do we have so many low number of clients? That data is misleading. And then we had this discussion between me and Cohen, where I said that we can create an automation that if for 3 months after a contact has been created, if they still have the important fields missing out, we can create an automation in which the system will automatically delete that contact. So yeah, that's something else you can do. And then I was scolded by Oren that you shouldn't delete contacts because at the end of the day, data matters. So you can add another tag to it or another smart list by saying something like incomplete information. So that's something that we were working on and we realized that you can do. The next thing that an employer or a business owner should really look into is something that's called task. Now, task is something that you, again, I think it's self-explanatory what tasks are, but you can give tasks to your existing employees, and all you need to do is go to the task within the contacts page, go to task, click on add a task, give it a title like call on power. I can remove the description entirely, or I can add a description. If it's something that's self-explanatory, I don't need a description, but I can add a description. It is a test. Do not call my boss. I can add a due date and a time as well. I can make it a recurrent task. So if it's something that needs to be done on every Monday or every day or every specific time period on a specific length of days, I can make it a recurrent task as well. So for example, if I want to call Oren every day, I can do that. If I need to start on some day and end it after a number of days, I can do that as well. And create a new task, even if previous task is overdue. So if I forgot to call Oren today, it will even still create a new task for me tomorrow, or to call Oren, something like that. Then I can assign it with a contact. So when I do click on the task, which contact am I talking about? For example, we're going to just pretend that Billy is Oren. And then whom are you assigning the task to? And that would be Mustafa Shahid. Perfect. And save. I can save and add another if I want. If I click over here, I can perfectly. It's saved another task and it opened this part again. If I had just clicked on save, it would have just closed out the window. Now, this is how you create a task manually. If you want to create a task, you can create tasks automatically as well, but you'll have to predefine the fields and predefine the users beforehand. That's the only difference. Now, within task, we also realized one more thing. But when we were working with automations, this is something I'll show you as well. So if you go into automations, where we craft these huge workflows and all, I can click on create a workflow, start from scratch. When we're working with automations, we have 4 triggers or 4 use cases in which an automation can be fired off or initiated. The first one would be when a task has been added. So for example, I can utilize this trigger. So whenever a task has been added, and the filter that I can do is I can choose, if it loads, confirm, add filter. Yeah, perfect. Assigned user. I can say whenever a task has been added for Mustafa Shahid, do this. Now, what it can be sending an internal notification email to Mustafa, the employee in this case, that a task has been made for you by this person. Get this completed. I can even do an alert in email for my manager to be alerted if a task is incomplete after a number of days. So you have a huge space to play around with. The same way you can have another trigger as well. The next trigger would be if a task has been added, a task can be completed as well. So don't do this. I'm just giving a fair warning. Just because it's part of the system does not mean I agree to it. But if a task has been completed by, let's say, Mustafa Shahid, you can create an automation in which the system will reach out to my boss, in this case, Oren, and ask him, hey, Mustafa just completed a task. Did he actually do it, or did he just mark it off? And then he can check it out. So don't do it. Don't manage your employees like that. But if I was the boss, if I was the employer, I would have done that. So yeah, hypocrisy. And then we have also task reminders. Do not interrupt me over here, please, Oren. I mean, save some embarrassment for later. Also, we have task reminders as well. Now, within task reminder, what this workflow is, you can craft a workflow, an automation, a process of the system doing something either before a task is due or after a task has been due. So, for example, if I have to send out a contract to my client in 3 days, I can have the system remind me. And if a task was something that was needed to be completed on a Monday and today is Wednesday, I can have the system so that it sends me an email, or it sends me a reminder, or it sends me and my boss and my manager or the concerned parties an email at the end of the week regarding everything that was due on Monday. So we can set it up like that to prepare me in advance or to inform me after the due date has been passed to see if everything is working or not. So yeah, that's another thing that companies can look into. Yep, confirm within SmartList as well, within automations as well. Now, I forgot about telling you one more thing about SmartList. When you're working with SmartList on the contact tabs, which is these name missing, email missing, these different SmartLists, one thing that you do have to look into is you click over here on the Manage SmartList, and you'll have this share button icon on the right-hand side. Click on it. Why? So that you can provide the access to all the people that you want. So if I'm an employee within your organization and I make a smart list, that smart list by default will only be visible to myself, not by anyone else, until and unless I decide to share it with everyone. That is the difference between two smart lists. If you see, one will have the global icon on the left-hand side, which says it's shared with everyone. And the one without would mean it's only shared with a few people or just myself, not with everyone else. So whoever out there is creating the smart list and it's for the entire organization, remember to click on the share icon over here and share it with everyone. Now, the next portion of today's workshop will be shared by Cohen, and it's about something new that we just came across by the developers. And this is something we found exciting. Why? Because we have a new way to keep people or keep your employees within the system. So over to you, Cohen.
Yeah, as Mustafa was saying, there is a new way to internally chat with any of your employees or your coworkers. So firstly, by going into the settings in the bottom left, click on that, then scrolling down to labs. You want to scroll down just a little bit, and then search for this internal chat for team collaboration. And once you do that, you want to toggle this on and then go back to your contacts tab, or conversation rather. Next, you want to hit this blue button right here, labeled New. And here you have different prompts, whether it be direct message, where you can directly contact a client, group message, where you can choose multiple clients, or internal chat, which allows you to be able to have conversations with either one or more people within your sub account. So if you do that, you can choose from this list. I already have one open with me and Mustafa. So I'm going to leave this as is, but you can choose that. And once you're done, you can select Start Chat. And then, as you can see, me and Mustafa are able to contact each other. Just do a little quick test. Mustafa, if you would like to message back. Okay. And as you can see, we can seamlessly talk to each other without having to be in the exact same room. You can also additionally add more users if you want to add more people to your group chat as well. You can also, this email icon right here, mark as read and mark as unread. And you can also change the group name or the name of the group chat as well. So it's very quick and easy, but I know that a lot of people were looking forward to this. It works seamlessly. Seems there's a new one. A new group chat was made with me, Oren, and Mustafa right then. I'm assuming that was you, Mustafa, right? So just to showcase
and
that
this is something this is one information that I want to talk about while you're over here. Click on add a user.
Yep.
This is something really fun for me. Select anyone that you want.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Now, this is something that was really good. Now, when you decide to add someone to an existing conversation, you have two options. Either to include them from the beginning so they can see the entire chat history, or don't include the chat history so that they don't know what happened before they were added. So that's something to code. I just found it really funny. So
yeah, I did too. All right. And that's basically it to the new internal chat feature, which we were just made aware of. Oh, it seems Oren has a question as well.
This is something I want to check out right now. I'm checking it right now. Oren's message is, if someone is out on the sales field and doing their trips, can they be part of the internal chat conversation using their phone? So I'm about to try that out right now. Give me a second. Now, this is something that got me excited.
Mm-hmm. So let me take a second to wait on Mustafa to open up the chat through his phone. We will see if we're able to seamlessly contact each other through the mobile app of OPM Tools as well. Yeah. Within this, you are able to seamlessly talk to people that are outside the business. You're able to go through your contacts, go through group chats with your customers, and able to internally chat with your employees or coworkers as well, all within one space. So it is very convenient, a very nice update for people who were waiting for this, so that they're not having to use, let's say, WhatsApp or Messenger or whatever you may choose to use. So yeah, Mustafa, are you able to see it?
Nope, I don't think it has been released for the phone, but if it was, that would be really good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would only assume that that would be the next big update to this new chat feature as well.
Hopefully, I mean, if that happens, then that would mean that people will not have to use their SMS and their messaging features or their emailing features for some quick updates, and they can just respond from the app directly, like a Facebook DM or Instagram DM or even WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just wanted to showcase that real quick. Did I miss anything, Mustafa?
No, I don't think so that you did. I think that covers it. I hope that today's minor topics or these little topics that we feel are very little, but again can have huge impact on bigger teams with a lot of contacts or a lot of team members. I hope it was informational. And if it wasn't, then you can always give us a new topic to work on. Or, yeah, I think that would be the only constructive criticism I can do for myself. Self-constructive criticism. Yeah.
Absolutely. I do want to expand on that as well. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see from this workshop, please feel free to message us, whether through email or if you want to set up Google Meet. We are more than open to any suggestions that you have for these workshops, or if you want to learn more about any features within software, we are more than happy to help. Yes, Robert.
Yeah. Hey, Cohen, you said go into the settings, labs, and internal chat. Is that correct?
Yeah, so if you go to the settings, then you scroll down on the sidebar and go to labs, and then scroll down to internal chat for team collaboration. And you just need to toggle this little switch right here.
Even if you don't do that, it will be automatically live in 27 days.
Mm-hmm.
So you can play on it before it goes live. But once it goes live, then it's, I guess, the complete bug-free development, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any other questions regarding the topic that we've gone over today, whether that be in the context or conversations or tasks?
Not for me. I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, I would just like to emphasize, please focus. I know you're already focused on your business. I mean, I'm not trying to step on anyone's toes just to say that out loud. But yeah, do focus on trying to make sure, all right, mobile app version will be out in the next month. Perfect. That's about the internal chat notifications and the internal chats. What I'm saying is try to focus more on data management and how to make sure, and try to make sure that the fields, the first name, last name, email, and phone, those fields are taken into account so that you know how many contacts you have without a phone number, how many contacts you have without an email, how many contacts you have without a first name and last name, so that you can focus more on that. And yeah, that would be my final tip of the day. And I hope, and I guess to, let me think, I am hoping to see you all next week as well. So yeah.
As always, good stuff, guys. I appreciate you guys.
No problem.
No problem.